Welcome, everyone. This is Larry Keller. Welcome to Section 3, podcast number 4, the focus of which is scatter charts. The various stages include disaggregating data, followed by the creation of a scatter plot after doing so, and the purpose of a scatter chart. And then we'll create small multiples with trend lines, step number 4, and ultimately to show and identify outliers. The content of this particular lesson can be found in your manual, pages 113 to 116, and of course the associated Tableau package workbook. Speaking of package workbooks, let's open up ours, which has been building with sheets. Now with the number 4, would you please add sheet number 4, scatter chart. Okay, let's do this. Take shipping costs and put it on columns. Take profitability and put it on rows. By default, Tableau always renders a scatter chart. If you come over here to look at Show Me, you can see there's the default and preferable visual according to Tableau. Well, we're going to use that today, but I'll learn a lot more. First of all, by Tableau's summation, part of this, all measures are summed up. And we look here, we have one mark, one row, one column. If I hover over the mark, you can see it shows all the profitability and all the shipping costs. But we want to analyze this further. We want to know the customers that are profitable, etc. Let's begin by going over to analysis and disaggregating the measures as they are. Notice we've gone to 9,426 marks. These are all the transactions in the data set. If I hover over any mark down here, we want to understand what are called outliers, these non-profitable customers and these very profitable customers, and of course those that are close to the break-even point that help us as well. That's the ultimate goal, to figure out outliers as they are shown here or all the way over here. Let's do this. Hit the undo button. I want to go back to summation. And what I wanted to do is add some context to this story in the following way. Would you take region, come down to region, and put it on the color card like so? Let's find out about our customers as well. So take customer name, drag it over to the visual, and simply drop it. Ladies and gentlemen, there are all our customers there, some 2,700 marks. If we come over, we take a look, there's Neil Wolf, and we come down here to Cynthia Kahn, and these are the customers we're concerned about, although we'd like to learn more about these folks as well. Let's take a look and see what these people buy and what technologies are involved. So let's take product category and put it on shape, the shape card. Now this tells us who they are. It tells us what they're buying and where they are. So we've built ourselves a very, very big story here. It's one that we're going to build out further as we take the data and analyze it. So we disaggregated the data. We've created our scatter chart, and we understand what the customers are. But now we're going to delve into the world of small multiples and trend lines. How do we do that? We take region. We put that up in rows and in front of profitability. We also take product category, drag it up to columns, and drop it there. And let me spread this out so it's a bit easier for you to see. Okay, let's enrich the story by understanding what's going on. Take profitability or profit and put it on the color card, and you can begin to see that, well, some problems out there with technology in the West, but is it true that that's the biggest problem that we have? Let's take a look. We have some problems in furniture. Indeed. Let's put some trend lines in across this whole thing. How do we do so? Place your cursor or any place on one of these small multiples, right click, and choose Show Trend Lines. Now, please note, as bad as things look over here, the overall trend, and don't forget, this is 4 years worth of data, is really not that bad in the West for technology. In fact, technology does very well across all regions. And office supplies, it's so-so, but nothing's as good as technology. I would suggest and propose that furniture is our biggest problem, so let's isolate it a little bit. How do we do it? All we do is filter. We double-click on furniture, and now we're down to the 4 regions, which I will spread out a little bit to make it easier for visibility. Now our next decision is which region do we want to isolate and better understand and identify the outliers within. Well, given the way things are going with these trend lines, we could pick any one. I'll tell you what, we're going to go with the East for this particular lesson and double click on it, and there we are. Now I will expand this so we can see this much bigger and have a better understanding of what the heck is going on. So take a look here. Every one of these customers down here, folks, Carlos Hess and the various names down here, are non-profitable. One of the more powerful analytical tools in Tableau are the trend lines. And I want to come up to the trend lines associated with this particular grid that we've created. I want us to right click and choose Describe Trend Line Model. Now, this is not an analytics lesson overall because unless you have a degree in statistics, this might not mean a lot, but there is one key thing to note. This says the model may be significant if the p-value is equal to or less than 0.05. The p-value here is triple odd, etc., 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 indicating there's a strong relationship between our shipping costs and furniture in the East to these customers. And the other lines have to do with confidence bands. So if I wanted to take a look at that and say I wanted to edit that, Tableau is rendering a 95% confidence band. If you wanted to remove those for ease of visibility for the content consumer, all one needs to do is come up and uncheck that like so, and off we go. The last step in this lesson, and probably the most powerful, is if you assume that all these customers are not that profitable, how would business change if we were to eliminate those customers? Let's take our cursor, let's lasso a bunch of these Cheerio-like marks. I don't want the ones above, no. I want the ones that are below down in here, like so. And I want to take those, choose them, and choose exclude. Okay, our trend line changed a little bit. Let's try it one more time before the close of this lesson and come in and grab more of those particular marks because they're all unprofitable. Look at the line on those. Let's right click, and now you're going to see exclude. It's at the bottom and off the screen for me. So just choose exclude, and now look at the result. This business without those customers, and of course you can see the filtering up here. This is the end result of a scatter chart where we were able to combine and bring in various contextual pieces of information, analyze the customers, analyze profitability, and do a what-if analysis. So this concludes the lesson on scatter charts, and we'll see you in the next lesson on sets.